full 15-a-side tour of Australia, came through last season's 7-a-side tournaments. You can see just what a platform it can be for players, but also for referees, and James Jones is one of those who's very much on the up, and you will see international referees being groomed here. So, the start of 44 games. Naomi Nanuku for Fiji, and Portugal it is with possession. It's a game in which possession is everything if you're seeing it for the first time. It doesn't matter about not making too much headway.
Back feet. 8 back feet.
As long as you retain possession, the other side at least cannot score. This is Estevez. I was impressed with him. A newcomer. Adelito Estevez. Surprisingly was not in the start lineup very often. Well, that's sort of a panic pass, you might call that, from Murinello. And that is exactly what you do not do. You do not throw away possession that's hard won. Take your time, wait for the breaks to come, don't force the issue. So here are Fiji.
Stay bound. Stay bound.
So that was just fear of a tackle, I think, from Nabuliwaka. So here come Fiji, first time in possession. Nanuku going for the loop. On the break is Nankalavuki. Nankalavuki keeps the ball available. Finally goes to ground. So much, they've got so many options. They all have pace, but that's a poor pass. Naevu tried to pick up, then a little step, and Nabuliwaka scores under the post. Fiji's first of a hatful of tries that they will score today, and a joy to watch. Instant acceleration. Here's the messy pass. Naevu in all sorts of trouble. Then step away, and the young star from Red Rock Principal Club in Suva gets the first score. Well, you can't teach those sort of skills. It's just inbred, I guess. And here is a Fijian squad without a man who has become the master of that at a very young age, in William Ryder. He's been disciplined and not included in Fiji's squad for either here or Paris last week. But they have so much strength in depth. Portugal perhaps will be looking not to win this one so much as contain the score. It may sound patronising, but it's realistic. But they will fancy their chances against both France and Italy, fellow Europeans who make up this pool. Good play by Matthews. And again, those little errors. Beautiful day. And there's Serevi in the middle, alongside Usaya Daunivalu, the manager. And what an impact Serevi has had since he came back full-time to the Sevens. And has made assistant coach player on the short side, a stroll home. And the same guy. Just no cover on the short side, and with the speed off the mark. 2 in a row. Well, reminiscent of Peter Stringer in the Heineken Cup final for Munster against Biarritz just a couple of weeks ago. An unguarded blindside. Terrific drop goal. Well, Nanuku is the drop goal specialist who fills in when Serevi isn't taking them. Here's Bolavuthu. There was Bolavuthu. Oh, good tackle by De Aguilar. Terrific in defence, and the ball not released. If you're caught or held in the tackle, you've got to release the ball straight away. Otherwise, you'll incur the whistle of the referee. This is Estevez. Forced into touch. That's a good way of regaining possession, of course. Force the opposition player with the ball into touch, you get the throw in. Tomas Morais, the Portuguese coach, was really angry with his side last week. Absolutely fuming, couldn't speak to them for a few hours after the first round of games had been played. Good play now, though. Murinello on the switch. Estevez. He's certainly been a great find this season, but again, when you're tackled follow-up player must stay on his feet. It's a frequent offence.
Release, tacklers away.
Osesi Volavola. Fiji so comfortable with ball in hand. Nambuluanka going for a hat-trick. Good tackle, David Matthews.
Run! Run! No hand.
That's a good turnover by Portugal. Well, quite what that intended to be, I'm not sure. Pedro Leal just kicking the ball away. But it looks as though Diogo Matthews has recovered it. He did well. David Matthews. Pedro Leal. Must not make those simple errors. David Matthews did all the hard work, all thrown away in a brief moment, and an angry coach, you can see, with good reason. Thomas Moraes alongside Francisco Martins, the manager. Been a very inspirational coach, done so much to bring Portuguese rugby up to a top level in Europe. Almost laconic, almost casual looking. Wonderful handlers of the ball. Bolavuthu, terrific acceleration. Well, that's another thing you just cannot coach. Pace, sheer pace from Philemoni Bolavuthu. That's his 22nd try this season. Where's the head guard these days? From Lamaiviti near the capital Suva. So Fiji stretch away. Another fine drop goal by Nanuku, 21-0.
It's Fiji 21.
Still first half, and ominous moments these for Portugal, who just have not been in contention. Scarcely, if I think about it, that they've been out of their half. They have possession now. Matthews.
Tap it away.
With those coloured shirts, don't you dare say Matthews Rose. Estevez, Pedro Leal, De Aguilar. Half break, nicely laid off. Good layoff to Pedro Leal. Now, has he the pace? I doubt it. The giant strides of Naevo, but equally Estevez here. This is Portugal's best passage. Nice offload. De Aguilar, he's got speed. Oh, he's got the try under the post. Terrific work. Lovely try. Now that's more like it from Portugal. They kept their cool, the passes went to hand, and Estevez and De Aguilar worked it out between them. Terrific. So that will boost their morale just on the stroke of half-time. This was a lovely break, big handoff. That's the key, though. The offload was super. Great angle taken up by De Aguilar. So their top all-time try scorer. 43 tries now in all. So just the moment to score. They needed that to get in the game, lift their heads. 1 minute only. Let's listen in to Thomas Moraes.
Oca, deixa o Sereve sozinho. Eu falei que atrás também ali é com ele. Tu nunca podes largar. É malta. E no momento da placagem tens que atacá-los. A malta, vimos embora, jogámos com o sistema, andámos para a frente, movimentámos bem, marcámos. Que é isto? Não é nada, malta.
Bora, pessoal.
Viste a pureza, pá.
Serevi,
Coach.
and no doubt saying, well, 21-0 is not a winning lead. In sevens, things can turn over in a blink of an eye. And Portugal came back then to get within 14 points. That's 2 converted tries only. Seen many a turnover from that score. Well, the expanding world of rugby is represented by sevens and by, of course, all the proliferation of tournaments at 15s that are going on around the world, and there's an inaugural IRB Nations Cup in June for Portugal. They'll be playing with Russia, Argentina and Italy in a brand new competition. Another one currently going on in the South Pacific Islands involving Fiji, Samoa, Tonga. And so the game grows worldwide, and sevens has become such a popular variation of it. This is the clever little Nambuliwaka to Samisi Nayovo. Just the little flick passes.
Tucked it away.
Klavuki not getting it away quickly enough. That's an error that the coach will be fuming about. All the players know.
Tackle and moved, and
tackle,
we held on to it. He left you play the ball.
Roll away, as you heard James Jones say. Tackle, roll away. Let go of the ball. So Portugal here, a score now.
Okay.
Would really put this one on an edge. Here's Pedro Leal. Man and ball. Well, Diogo Matheus had no chance whatsoever, but they retained possession. Pedro Leal. Murinello.
Knock on.
Deliberate knock-on, was it? Just ordinary knock-on, the referee says. Advantage Portugal, they get none as they retreat. They'll come back for the three-man scrum.
If the tackler lets the ball,
so that is not exactly what you want to receive. We call that a red cross pass, I think.
The tackler moved straight away, left the ball to be played.
Nickname for it, Bolabuthu in.
Wait. Yeah.
Where?
Coach and hold, engage. Okay? Ball out. Release!
Portugal have it. It's Leal, little playmaker to fly half position. De Aguilar. Oh, he slips the tackle now. One man to beat. Goes for the corner. He's got pace. He'll get there. Excellent comeback this by Portugal now. Well, I said, catch them early. That's the best time. And Fiji looking uncomfortable now as Portugal come back within 9 points. And this is the man who's caused the damage.
Number 6, Antonio De Aguilar.
Part of their squad in Hong Kong this season. Well, they made the plate quarter-finals. This is close. Oh yes, it slid in. So now within a converted try of the world champions come Portugal. Played 6 times, Portugal beaten 6 times, but now the excitement builds with 6 minutes to play, and Portugal try at the back end of the first half, now immediately at the beginning of the second half. Well, I said this could be, if it were to happen, the biggest upset of many a day. And here they come again with Diogo Matheus, their captain. Needs to keep cool now, and I was going to say retain possession, because without that, Fiji can do nothing. But Portugal have the throw-in, quickly taken.
No, it's gone back.
Ball went backwards there, you heard James Jones, referee, say.
That's open play.
Open play. And so you can see how a side like Fiji can look imperious and look in complete control, but in sevens, if that concentration fades or players relax too much, the balance can turn. It has here dramatically. Virtually the whole game so far has been in this half, initially with Fiji, but now it's Portugal.
Release, stay, penalty advantage.
Offside and advantage being played to Fiji. They won't need it any longer as they break out now. And with Nambuliwaka, he slips the tackle. Nakalavuki. Well, take it all back 30 seconds and you'll see that it was just that carelessness by Portugal in losing decent possession that allowed Fiji to come back and score the try. Well, he had a support player, he didn't need him.
Fiji from number 8, Sereni Nakalavuku.
So free try scoring this man. You can see how many he scored this season, 32. William Ryder, who's not with Fiji here, but he'll be in the Cayman Islands sevens next week. all part of a disciplinary measure. And this guy, extraordinary. 6 tries in Paris last week, and
Just hold replacement.
again on the board. It's his 7th tournament. Well, that was important. We're into the last quarter of the match now. 28-14, the margin back to
You got 8?
2 converted tries. Portugal, were they flattering to deceive? So rolling replacements, and Portugal might have been trying to steal an extra man on for a moment. On comes a newcomer for Fiji, Orisi Sareki, from the Bar Club. He made his breakthrough, was outstanding in the build-up, the training camp that Fiji had, so got his first selection. Just seemed to produce wonderful runners and handlers off an assembly line, but it's a national sport. They play it from the age of dot on the beaches, on the scrublands of those beautiful islands. Portugal now, well, it's feasible, but it's not easy, is it? Fiji you're facing. Nice switch pass, lovely reverse pass. Tap tackle on Esteves work, just.
More. Tuckers away.
But certainly this is a more impressive Portuguese performance than we saw last week in Paris. Here comes Esteves again.
Tuckers away.
Certainly earned his place in the starting lineup for this tournament.
Release.
Sareki doesn't release it in time, the newcomer,
Holding.
and quickly taken. Tap penalty, Pedro Leal tries to offload, and did that go forward? It did, sadly. It's those moments when you just have to keep a cool head, and above all, make sure you don't make a simple error like that. Just wait your time and make the task go to the man.
Red 12.
So off goes Murinello, on comes Juan Mira for Portugal. He's from the leading club in Lisbon, Belenenses. And of course, replacements can play a vital part in a game, either with tactical change or of course bringing on fresh legs, particularly as the tournament develops.
Time on.
Key element.
Coach hold. Engage.
So
Steady, bind up.
Portugal
Okay.
are in trouble here. 2 converted tries adrift. 28-14. That certainly hauled Fiji back after it looked as though the world champions would run away with it.
Bind.
Nabuluanka.
No, you must bind number 3.
As you heard the referee say, Portugal slipping the binding. The hooter summons the end of the 14 minutes. So Fiji safe. They had their uncomfortable moments though. And there's a nice little show of the ball that leaves the player floundering, just grasping at thin air. Well, that was a bit selfish by Nabuluanka, but
release, ruck.
They'll not worry because the game is won. Tora. Sareki on the charge. Just want to round it off with one final score. This will be the last play of the game. This is Laisaya Tora.
Release.
But courageous tackling by Portugal for all that. Sareki, and the switch to Nanuku. Nankalavuki. Good tackle again. Salvador Palha came on as a replacement just a short while ago. Penalty it is. Well, will they continue to play it out? I guess they will. Or they can put it in touch and the game would be over, but no, they want one more. The practice time, I suppose. Tonawai. There's a nice offload into the hands of Naomi Nanuku. Scored in every round in Paris.
Lovely, lovely.
9 tries last week. He'll get a hatful this. First time in. That's where they're so good. Just keeping cool. Nabuluanka with the offload into the hands of Nanuku. Game, set, a match. And the final conversion. The man who scored the try from Nandroga. Nanuku. floats it across the face of the post. It doesn't matter. It's 33 points to 14. Fiji, well, after a mid-match scare, finally imposed their authority again, and the world champions beating Portugal 33 points to 14 in the opening game. Only 43 to come.
So Italy with the restart. Nevo can't get to it. That was not knocked forward, says the referee.
Advantage is over.
I'm pretty sure it was. But Fiji get away with that one, and voila voila. Tonawai gets it wide to Nanuku. The step inside, and he doesn't need any help. Away goes Nangaluku, and in the end, he was caught. Well done, Italy sticking at it.
Yes, just a little bit casual, I think, in the end there. Thought he'd escaped the clutches. He just got ankle tapped at the end and knocked forward as a result.
Bind up, engage, bind up, bind on the shirt, bind on the shirt.
Manori just probing down the blind side. And Buliwanga marshalling him into touch, but the ball's still alive, just inside that touchline. Italy come up with it. Problem of where to go now. So Saka, quite rightly, takes the tackle, sets it up again. Well worked, Italy. Thank goodness he done it then. There'd have been two Fijians and a lone Italian winger, and I wouldn't have fancied his chances. In fact, in the end, Onori decides there's nowhere to go. Who's it downfield, so at least Fiji have got to come back all of 70 metres.
I'm not sure we're betting against it either, are we, at the moment?
No, it could be just a one-off as well. This is Nanuku. He's already scored over 50 tries in IRB sevens. Puts it wide this time to Nambuliwanga. Nambuliwanga just again stops, gives it the goose step, and then goes again under the post.
Well, as soon as that kick was collected, it was on, and the Italian defence was in disarray. And now Buliwanga certainly knows how to beat the last line of defence, and Italy just can't get enough numbers in support, and as a result they had to kick their way out of defence. And once you kick deep to Fiji and allow them time to regroup, it spells danger. I wonder if it's time for a little cameo from the player coach. It's sort of game he'd want to come on in, isn't it? Sort of 31-0.
He's done that quite a lot this season. It doesn't look as if he's showing any signs of taking his tracksuit off. And all credit to him, though, he's been good value this season. There was a time a couple of seasons ago they brought him back for the French tournament, and he was a waste of time. But even now in his 17th year of sevens, he's really got himself fit, and he's terrific. Vitolia now puts it wide. A little bit of an opening, the crowd sensing it and hoping that Italy can do something. Oh, they've knocked it forward.
Away tackler, don't come inside Italy.
Away this time goes Nambuliwanga, except the touch judge points out to Simon McDowell that there was a little nudge forward, and he calls him back. Scrum Italy.
Yes, absolutely right, and the Italian bench think about to make a substitution by the looks of things. But Italy up against it. They lack pace, Italy, really, don't they? They lack a real flyer or a couple of quick guys.
Yeah, that situation where they did create the overlaps, if they'd had any pace there at all, they had to score, but they didn't have it. Now, well, even then, now Buliwanga was dreaming, just coasting back, got caught, but still had time to get back and prevent the score. Nanuku puts it wide. Away goes Nasoni Rocco. He's the man who's come in for Ndanuvuthu. This is going to be a terrific dummy. Great big one in the end. Lovely little offload from Naivo. And in goes Rocco. Such a good player, Naivo. He can do all the powerful stuff. Winds up for the great big dummy, as you can see there. And then watch this.
This is class. This is absolute class. It's vision, it's coordination. He's having great hands. And it's what has set Fiji apart for many, many years on the 7 circuit. And it doesn't matter if you're 6'5" and 18 stone, they can still do it for some reason, can't they?
Absolutely. I mean, if only they could get themselves some real ball-winning forwards, they'd have a terrific 15 side, because every single player is just so comfortable with the ball in hand.
They've got to tell two blokes, well, we want you to do a scrummage, because that's what lets them down a fair few times.
Chris Burton, one of the Italian imports, number 5, just making the play. Saka. Ooh, that's the sort of pass that gets you into trouble. But this time, of course, it works. Gonzalez. Oh, and in goes the chip. Now there's loads of space. It just bounced kindly. For once it does. And away goes Alessandro Anori. And this time he'll make the corner. Huge cheers from the crowd. They love the underdogs. And Italy are on the board.
Well, at one stage I thought they'd bottled it because the pass was on the left hand, but he elected to kick. But fortuitously the bounce was great, and he was coasting home, really, although he had to pin his ears back because there was a couple of Fijians coming alongside, but Honori got there in the end.
I notice he made very sure of it. We had a situation last week in Paris where Guemir, one of the Tunisians, was well clear, going in under the post, took it a bit too casually, and the Naivo got there and knocked the ball away. So that's it, Italy on the board, but the final score, a convincing win for Fiji. Fiji 38, Italy 5.
Well, France may have only beaten Fiji twice ever in the IRB Sevens, but it happened last week in the Cup quarter-finals. This is a rematch of a game that was won by France 22 points to 21, but overall, as you can see, Fiji have had 18 wins to France's 2, but that's all in the past. Here, the two unbeaten sides in Pool A meet, and the winners will top the pool. Fiji side in which Serevi in this tournament so far has not been in the starting lineup, but he has tremendous allies alongside. Semisi Naivo, who seldom seems to miss a start or restart kick. The pace of Nankalavuki, Bolavuthu, Nanuku. Can France contain them as they did last week and get that tremendous confidence that came with the early scores? And here they are, exactly the same lineup as before. Added though is Julien Malzieu, who comes in, part of their title-winning team in Paris a year ago. Alongside him, Jawa, Nab, Captain Caro, and the hard men up front, Remy Vacquin and Vincent Roux. So in the absence of Serevi, Naevo is the man to lead on Fiji. So these two great rivals, and Fiji, of course, with their title of overall champions for the season still very much in sight. Only England can upset them in that ambition, and England have to win the tournament and Fiji lose out at the quarter-final stage and get no further, even in the plate. Wayne Barnes, young, talented referee, is in charge of this first of the big pool playoff games. Jamie Salmon alongside me. Well, we know about France. You never quite know which sevens turned up, but Fiji have looked pretty emphatic, haven't they, till now?
Yes, they certainly have. They haven't been really tested, and France are really going to have to defend for their lives if they're going to withstand the attacks that come from Fiji. And they're going to have to play 14 minutes of top-class sevens rugby.
The first attack, the long, wide spread of the ball to Bolavuthu. You've got to do a containment job here. Close down Fiji all the time, go in tight and hard, kill them at the breakdown, but give them room, you're in trouble. And here they come back again with Vola Vola this time, menacing. France much improved though in the close quarter battles. They don't stand off anymore as they did so often. Now they get in and grapple and like then get the better of the Fijians in this instance. Vincent Roux, possession for France. Advantage here. Spread wide, Julien Caro, the captain. That's Remy Vacquin, part of the junior cup winning side from Clermont-Ferrand. There's a big handoff, terrific running. Looking is Malzieu for the line and making the first try for France. Julien Malzieu, called up to this squad, having missed the Paris tournament, does extremely well here.
He certainly does. Well, I said that France were going to have to defend for their lives. Well, I didn't think that Fiji would just be bounced off tackles. That's two he's got through, Malzieu, and he's certainly going to get Fiji thinking now.
Well, just the start, and we know that they can be a sort of temperamental squad, but Malzieu there has really put the cat among the pigeons. Another from the Clermont-Ferrand club, which has done so well at the under-21 level in France, and the under-23 level, which this season they have won the French Championship. The conversion is not good, but the try was. And there behind the expressions of Thierry Janacek. He is an emotional man, and has worked wonders with a limited amount of talent made available to him by the top French clubs.
Just one thing, Nigel, while you were watching that, Naevo, the Fiji player, has been sent to the sin bin. They've only got 6 on the field, Fiji, by the looks of things.
So was that the tackle off the ball?
I think that's right, absolutely right. I can see Naevo down in the sin bin area. Just to, you know, that's why the Fiji are down to 6.
There it is, one of their key men, Semisi Naevo Sokawa, who's been a key ingredient. This is a golden chance for France then to upset the apple cart here. 7 against 6 for a full 2 minutes. And I think that's the first yellow card of the day, is it not? I've seen one earlier.
There was one earlier, yes. I can't remember which game it was, but there was one earlier. But they've been sparse this year.
It's good. It's good news.
Yeah.
We went through a spell when there were. Oh, here we go. Let's go back to this. Oh, there, off the ball. You can see that Remy Vacquin was taken out by Naevo, but here back with 6 men, typically Fiji, and the race with Nanuku. And in the end, sorry, Nambuliwanka it was, who broke away. And that's so typically Fiji, isn't it? 6 men and scoring tries from very little.
Yes, indeed. Well, it came from a little knock-on from the French, which cost them that scrummage. And Nabuliwaka, he certainly saw the hole there, and he's readdressed the balance, certainly on the scoreboard, and got Fiji possibly back on even terms, even 2 points ahead, depending on the conversion.
Top try scorer for Fiji today, that was his 5th. This is Nanuku for the lead. It's a close call, just shy of the post. Naomi Nanuku, it's 5 apiece, and still 2, 4, 6, 7. That's a quick 2 minutes. Fiji back to a full complement.
It's a very quick 2 minutes, isn't it? I'm surprised at that, seeing there's 3 minutes left in the game, but there we are.
And that's what they were missing. Naevo getting the restart, but the ball came forward as he was dumped. And verging on a dangerous tackle. I'd have thought it wasn't a spear tackle, but was he in the air when he was taken out?
You were late and driven
Well,
to the ground.
it's, you know, it's pretty close to it. Bakwan, he was the recipient of the tackle that caused this injury, I
You're
think.
right, absolutely right, and so he got quick revenge.
He returned the compliment, if I can call it that.
Here's Thierry Brana, played very well in the Paris Sevens, where last week France made the Cup semi-final, beating Fiji in the previous round. That was the Cup quarter-final, the shock exit of Fiji, as was a shock exit of England and of New Zealand. Brana on the receiving end this time, dumped in the end by Volavola's follow-up tackle, but there's a forward pass or a knock-on, been signalled. Nanuku goes back. Doesn't need much room to get away, but he's been well snaffled this time by Caro. But here's Bolavuthu. Oh, charging up the field like a man inspired. Didn't really have to beat anybody, it was just pace that did.
Well, the advantage didn't help France at all. The referee was playing advantage for a Fijian knock-on, and then France kicked the ball ahead. And once Fiji pick it up from there, they're faced with a fractured defence. The defence isn't organised at all. And you'll see here that the French are all over the place. And as you say, nobody ever gets near making a tackle. And that doesn't help their cause one iota.
As the touch judge went over the hoarding. Not pleased with that decision. And he certainly doesn't keep his feelings to himself. He doesn't hide his emotions, does Thierry. But I think he had reason to be a little aggrieved, actually.
Yes, I can see why he got emotional. But Fiji have bounced straight back, haven't they? And as Serebi looks on, he's yet to take the field today, I think, which is interesting.
He's been sitting things out, allowing his new squad to develop. He's been a big influence in the playing terms, even bigger influence this season in restoring Fiji to the top of the world rankings. World champions, of course, last year, and they've stayed on a high since then, having broken through. It was an extraordinary gap, no titles between George 2002 and the George tournament in South Africa in 2005, and then back they came, contested every final this season until Paris. At the moment we're half-time, and it's Fiji looking to avenge the defeat by France last week in the Cup. Fiji 12, France 5. Well, they love their sevens in the Pacific Islands, and nowhere more so than in Fiji. And I know that a lot of people will be not sure what time of day it is down there where you're watching live, but this is the national side of their most important team game. And Serebi is just trying to tell them to calm it a little. Let's listen in. More passion here. The passion anyway.
Janacek's registered as a player because he'd be quite keen to get on, I think.
Fiji supporters appear all over the world, and well, how dearly they would love that first ever IRB season title as overall champions. England alone can prevent that from happening. Certainly a new face on that overall Champions Cup after New Zealand have had to relinquish it.
I think the first 2 minutes will reveal all in this half. I think this restart's very important for France. They can collect it, and they might get a bigger bonus than that.
Free kick, didn't go the 10 metres. So can France come back quickly here? Winning try was by Remy Vacquin in the quarter-finals. This man who is a powerful player. It was a thriller, it really was. 22 points to 21 just a week ago. Same lineup. Malzieu, the only difference, who scored France's try here in this pool decider. Both teams will have already qualified for the cup quarter-finals, but you want to be the top of the pool. You get the weaker team in the opposing pool runner-up. Now with Jawa. Jawa's quick, so too is Nankalabuki.
Advantage.
Surprised Candelor hasn't come onto the side yet for France. He's one of their new recruits and is quick as lightning.
Please, no more.
Full international for France and a flying wing three-quarter in his first tournament last week in Paris. Not there at the moment, on the bench. Caro it is now, though. This is Malzieu.
And release, no hands. Don't dive in, wait.
Still time enough, only one converted try in it, away by Naves. This is Caro, and now it's Brana. Thierry Brana with a man outside. Did he ground it? Remy Vacquin. No, it's Vincent Roux had got across. Discussion here. What do you think, Jamie?
Well, the referee's given it. It looked a bit dubious to me, and certainly the tackle did. I don't think the tackler trying to get his arms around, that's a shove more than the else, but he might have just got the ball down in time. But it certainly wasn't a legal tackle. I don't think that's a legal tackle. But I think just there he gets the ball down, so good on France, and I think it could have been a penalty try anyway.
Did brilliantly well, Vincent Roux there. And that is the try that brings them within 2 points. The conversion attempt is just wide. It's 12-10 to Fiji. It was an illegal tackle, I'm sure you're right. But I think the good decision really of the officials there was that they said, well, the advantage was that he still got that ball down as he was flying through the air. And Serevi comes on to try and cool things down and bring back some of the discipline which he has instilled in this Fiji squad. This is the legend of the game in his 30th tournament, the 37-year-old who has been there, done it all, World Cup winning captain, twice over in World Sevens rugby. So, can he settle the issue? He won't do it through pace, but he might through guile. And good distribution.
He's probably still got the quickest mind amongst the 14 guys on the pitch, and as you say, he certainly lost a yard or two, understandably, at 37, but in his head, he's probably still as quick as anybody.
Yeah. Put in touch by Naivo.
It's been a good start for the second half for France, though. They've done, got the first score in, and they're well in this. And I think Serevi's come on, a worried man.
Yeah. Brana is held. Driving in is Julien Paté.
No, wait. Back you go, you've lost. It's out. Wait. Backwards.
Paté again. He's taken two men out now. Quick distribution here. Good work, well.
Hands away!
Remy Vacquin in the van of this. Roll away. Referee Barnes was saying to Fiji, particularly Tonawai. So free kick, and of Naves it is. Naves to Jawa. Jawa to Roux. Roux for the corner. He's in. That's the lead. The lead for France. Vincent Roux, 2 in a row, and this 21-year-old from Clermont-Auvergne has certainly made his mark, and never more so than against Fiji last week, and now this.
Well, it's a quick tap this time, and they go right, and it's good hands. They take out a couple of players there, and when he gets that line in sight, he certainly knows where it is. And that's 2 tries in succession for the French, and Vincent Roux could be the hero tonight.
And of course, the fascination of this builds because if France were to win and top the pool and Fiji comes second, then would it not be Fiji, if England win their pool, that England would face in the Cup quarter-finals, which is what England want?
Absolutely right. And then the England's hands is in England's hands what happens in the tournament. So great performance so far from France. Can they hold on? The conversion misses haven't helped. They need 3-point lead.
15 to 12, and we have 2 minutes to play. This is Bolavuthu. Oh, and a little error by Nabuluaka, who scurries back, and Fiji are up again it here, but never count them out. Good handoff, Nagkalavuki, good offload to Tonawai. Tonawai on the switch to Serevi. He won't go the whole way, but maybe Naevo will. Here he goes. This could be the one to seal it. That ground-eating stride of the massive 29-year-old Semisi Naevo Sakawa. Well, we said what a key influence it was when he was sin-binned earlier, but he's back on to do his stuff.
Well, Serevi's had one part to play, and this is the change of angle. Look how he cuts across. There's 3 Frenchmen taken out by that inside pass, and the rest is pretty easy. Naevo, and it's under the sticks as well, which is going to help.
So 19 points to 15 with the successful conversion. And is there one final twist in the tail? Fiji restore their lead at 19 points to 15. We're down to 1 full minute and a bit. There's Paddy O'Brien there, who runs all the refereeing setup for the IRB, and Thierry Janacek on edge as ever. Nothing changes. As Laisaias Tora comes on, and here's Serevi. Well, he played the key part in that comeback try, and a lovely restart kick, but it's bounced favourably to Vincent Roux. France determined. Leroux feeds on. This is the guy I thought might have been on earlier, Candelon. He's the quickest man in their lineup. But can he get a chance? He's waiting on this short side for the quick pop, I think. Here he goes. Not a good chance there, though. Forced out by Bolavuthu. No room in which to work. Seconds on the clock. There's Candelon. Quick throw in. Nankalavuki has broken through himself, so that settles it. Sereli Nankalavuki. And the one that has ensured Fiji will top the pool.
Yes, it certainly has. And once again, look who takes the throw-in. Serevi. Quick mind, that's what we talked about earlier when he came on. And he was the one that had the vision to spot it. And through he went. And a bit of French indiscipline as well. And
oh dear, oh dear. Well, takes the frustration out on one of the chairs. And there's a man, well, as we said, doesn't have the gas, but he has the skills, and above all, as Jamie Salmon said, he has the vision and the rugby brain that see Fiji safely through to top the pool. 26 points to 15. And for England, no, Fiji are not going to be runners-up in their pool, so England, I'm sure, will not go out to lose to Australia and therefore be runners-up that would face Fiji. It means that they've got to rely on someone else to knock Fiji out of this one, and that won't be easy for anyone.
The London Sevens is proudly brought to you in partnership with Roofing and Profiles, Fiji Limited Poly Products, Fiji Limited Flour Mills of Fiji, RC, Manubai, Thumbs Up Chips, and Philips Energy Saver.
Flight number MG811 to Manny has been cancelled.
My flight's been cancelled. I can't get back in time.
Oh no!
I'll send some money for the bicycle.
Western Union money transfer. A fast way to send and receive money from around the world. Western Union money transfer.
Dad, the bike is great.
Edward Solar.
Archetypal start, kick-off and restart winner. Here are Kenya. Well, they upset the apple cart. They beat Australia 26 points to 7. So this is their 5th Cup quarter-final. They've never gone beyond the quarter-final round. They've lost to Fiji in George 4 years ago. They lost to South Africa, New Zealand twice in 2004. This is a big moment for them. It's an equally big moment for Fiji. What a contest. As the crowd builds here on this beautiful day, it's all come down to this climactic moment in the IRB Sevens series for 2005-2006. Dean Richards of England is the referee. 7 minutes each way, and Fiji on the threshold. And all of you in Fiji, I know, who are watching in here live with us, will find this wonderfully, I hope, exciting and satisfying 14 minutes of rugby. All is set then. And just to repeat, if Fiji win this, they get so many points, England could not catch them, even were they to win the title. And that's the worst possible start for Kenya, not kicking the ball 10 metres. And just watch a concentrated, determined Fijian side here. They'll want to build up an established lead, not leave anything to risk, to chance. And away they go via Bolavuthu, and wide. Good take by Vola Vola. Handling, of course, one of their key strengths. They like to take it into contact, take a couple of men out with the tackle, and then spread wide. Or in this case, go direct through through Nankalavuki, and a little skip step, and a taunting run. Well, that is the perfect start for the man who's been an ever-present part of this triumph, Sireli Nankalavuki from Suva. His father was a 15-a-side international for Fiji, and now he scores yet another try. 28th try this season for Sireli Nankalavuki, the conversion from Nanuku, and it's 7-0. They're on their way. Ever popular with the crowds around the world are Kenya. Fiji too, one has to add, but Kenya especially, as underdogs so often, and creating, as they did yesterday, some of the great upsets in the recent past. Oh, brilliantly taken. Nabuliwaka, absolutely sensational. Just the acceleration, he saw the half chance, he gauged the weight of the bounce, and Kenya were just left stranded. 6th try of the tournament, 2 against Portugal, 2 against Italy, scored against France, and here, just look at the timing of this run. There, and the hands. Well, I said they wanted to start and build up a substantial lead, and they're doing just that. 14 points to 0 and only 2 minutes played. Fiji, winners in George, Wellington and Singapore this season. Every final until last week in Paris, when, of course, the shock upset when they were knocked out in the quarter-finals by France, 22 points to 21. But they still knew they had the chance to take the title here. First run for Kenya. Tackled by Bolavuthu. Ball away by Ayimba. In touch, just misjudged it. Alfred Kanana, one of the new members of the Kenya squad. Well, the towering height of Vola Vola and Samisi Naevo. And then the lift, throw in not straight, as Nabuliwaka was the man hoisted high.
At the kickoff, don't block. The runner.
Naevo, Tonawai and Vola Vola form the scrummage. Careless hands, but it's offside against Fiji. Penalty, Kenya. They need ball, they need an early try here to get into this game. Lavina Sengo from the Mwamba club is the link man to Kahutia, Gibson Weru. Oh, there's just a little sign of nervousness here. The pass is not going to hand first time. They've recovered it though. Well, the crowd, they would lift the roof here if there were one, if they scored. And came back in. This is a lovely break. Good work by Benjamin Ayimba. Kenya ball. Gibson Weru again, round Omondi. Teddy Omondi is one of their strike runners. This is good running. Into contact. And the enveloping arms of Naivo.
Last feet 8. Hands out wide. Stay. Too slow. Both sides just flop. Scrum ready, go forward. Far side. On the back foot, please. That's early bind.
And the man who will see his crown
up early.
displaced from the hold of New Zealand. All 6 seasons, this man, Gordon Tietjens, has guided New Zealand to that overall champions title. So he looks on now as he sees Fiji surely on the threshold of taking over from the great men in black. And this is Bolavuthu, Philemoni Bolavuthu. He's been one of the key factors. Another who has scored a hatful of tries this season. That's his 4th in this tournament. He's scored in every round. Add to that the 7 he scored in Paris. 25 tries this season alone. Good use of the ball, the little check steps, and then the slipshod tackling, and he's away. Nanuku 3 out of 3, it's 21-0. And Fiji assuredly now with one hand on that Champions Trophy. Yes, Philemoni Bolavuthu from Lamaiviti. Had a spell with Waikato in New Zealand, but has come back to the fold, so to speak, and the loving arms of the Fijian Sevens rugby. But good counter here with Teddy Omondi. Knock on by Ashoya, the captain. No, it wasn't. Came off a Fijian. Great cover defence from Nanuku. Acceleration to get back and turn it around.
It's okay.
Ball is free. Ball is clear. Kenya, chance here. Pick up on the half volley by Asengo. Good feed. Wide is Ochieng. Felix Clement Ochieng for the corner. Here's one back, surely. Yes, I think so. Try. No, the flag is up of the touch judge. Well. No wasted time by Fiji, but they throw in badly. How close was that? As the hooter goes for the half-time break. And so nearly one back for Kenya as the half-time whistle blows. Let's just see how close that was. It was touch and go, but the touch judge right on the spot. Here goes Felix Clement Ochieng into the corner. Now does he step? Well, that's tricky, isn't it, to judge, but the touch judge now perhaps from this angle. Here we can see. I think it's a good decision. It's a good decision. And so it stands. 21-0 at the break. Fiji in sight of that long-awaited triumph. Waisali Solomoni Sorevi with Rope Tuakabe, the coaching team, and Nuswaya Dawi Nivalu, the manager. Knowing that if they win this semi-final, this quarter-final, the points they earn from that mean that they will be champions. They don't even have to win, but they'll be all out to win and make it 4 titles this season. Every final they made in the first 6 tournaments before falling at the feet of the French in France last weekend in the quarter-final. And I know that back home, every television set will be surrounded by Sevens enthusiasts, the national sport of the country, the world champions. And this is the other revered title that has eluded their grasp over the years. 10 titles, 16 times runners-up. 26 finals they played over the IRB series. 11 times winners of the Hong Kong Sevens. Twice Melrose Cup winners, world champions, that is. And here they lead 21-0, but Kenya are not spent yet. Ochieng tries to offload. But one of the key improvement areas of Fiji has been their defence. This is Mwanja linking wide. Teddy Omondi, scragged by Naivo. Still, the ball retention good. They're not out of place here in a cup quarter-final. Kenya. It's from Nairobi Quins, this man, Ochieng. Oh, nicely laid off. Good offload to Lavin Asengo. Surely it's on here. Yes, it is. Benjamin Ayimba, to the delight of the crowd. It keeps the door just ajar. It's not done and dusted yet. One of the great servants of Kenyan Sevens. But it was beautiful timed little move on the short side. (21-7). Not quite a sufficient margin for Fiji to relax, with 6 minutes still to play.
Let's make sure, guys.
Gordon Lampew, Kenyan coach. Well, they've met 5 times. Kenya have never beaten them, but at the moment this is the closest they've ever been. But look at this. Skills and running of Buliwaka, and look at the support. Tonawai on now to Nakalavuki. Oh, great defence. Ball went forward, brilliant cover. That really was courageous defence. Watch here, you'd have put money on this being a sure score. Asengo is beaten, back comes Ashioya, and then Asengo covers back again and denies Fiji the try that would surely have clinched it. And for this moment of impending triumph, on comes Waisale Serevi. He's played all these seasons of the IRB Sevens. This is the title that he's craved for, that Fiji have craved for. It's now in their grasp. Almost. 2 tries. They've got to come back twice. Kenya with Teddy Omondi. Plays his rugby at Taffswell in Wales at the moment, formerly from Nairobi, the Impala club. And they're certainly giving it their all. And making Fiji fight for the glory.
Make sure you're bad if you put your feet round. Crouch and hold. Engage. Bind high.
There's Serevi at 37. We talk about living legends. He is just one of those in the world of sevens. Supreme. Brilliant run from Felix Clement Ochieng. Needs support. Gets it. Asengo. Not a bad tactic here. I think it's Omondi out wide, is it? It's Ashioya. What a comeback by Kenya. They mean business, and that was an inspired cross kick to Sydney Ashioya. His 4th try in this London tournament. Superb weight, great vision, kind bounce, and it's 21-12. Asengo has the conversion, which could put them within a converted try of the Fiji total. It's over. It's 21-14. And still 3 minutes to play. Maybe the nerves are rattling a little bit for Fiji. 21-0 to 21-14. Kenya with the crowd behind them here, and this sun-baked day. Fijian temperatures. Fiji on the great stage. Can they now clinch it with Nanuku, perhaps? He offloads. Perhaps going into contact a bit much here, but Vola still goes. And still goes with it. Eventually the ball lost with Nakalavuki. Sorelli Nankalavuki, well, the tempted fate here, should have offloaded to Tonawai or to Serevi. Thought he got away, was looking behind. And Sorelli Nankalavuki. Yes, well, robust, I suppose. Referee has not penalised that.
We've got a white change as well. Okay, you just changed what I'm taking, guys, okay?
A couple of replacements coming on. Let's just see that again.
Yeah.
That's legitimate. I'm not sure about the follow-up part of the tackle. Bit of a slam, not a spear tackle, but it's
one guy's gone, so
on the borderline of dangerous. Well, it's good to see him sitting up and clearly badly shaken, if nothing else. So the tension remains for Fiji as Gordon Nampiu looks on. And the replacement is already on.
Guys, you two, wind up early. Not here, please. Not here. Just wait.
So with what, 2 minutes, the clock stopped, of course, at the injury.
Crouching hold, engage. Don't break
Still time for Kenya to produce the greatest triumph of their Sevens career. Sengo is wide. And Kenya really stretching and testing Fiji here in this game in which, oh, it's a breakaway and it's in for Nasoni Rocco. Well, the little error at the base of the scrum snapped on by Nasoni Rocco Biao, player who only came in because of the disciplinary action taken against William Ryder, and the little darting run is the one that must surely secure the crown for Fiji.
10.
Top in the try-scoring list, and well, all a bit of a sad anticlimax with that injury to Sydney Ashoya. Just a little disruption that may have caused the problems at the base of the scrum there. Ashoya is the man on the receiving end of that injury, and he's off. And Fiji now have breathing space, 12 points ahead and only 1 minute to play. For the player Nanuku has been, as Serevi restarts, maybe for the last time in this particular tie, as Fiji, with that 14-point advantage over England at the start of this tournament, knew that if they could make the semi-finals, regardless of what England did, they would get sufficient points. The ball bounces forward into the hands of Waisale Tikolo-Solomoni Serevi to Nanuku. Nanuku, clever dancing feet and a nonchalant lope to the line. The little acceleration at the end just to confirm their position as champions of this season. There's Serevi, always alert, always the vision and the timing of the pass, and then the skill of his support runners, hands off both ways, and under the post, Naomi Nanuku scores again and again. So they have done it. Serevi there, courteous as ever. No histrionics from the Fijian players. They want the title, of course, but they must know now that they have secured the IRB Sevens overall champions title for this season. The very first time that someone other than New Zealand has won the title, and England can only look on and hope that at least they get the consolation prize of the London Sevens title. But battered and bruised as they are, that may be a forlorn hope. But for the moment, congratulations and celebrations are due. But there won't be any till the tournament's over. Waisale Serevi, who will be the new overall champions of this season, to take over from New Zealand, who've won it every year until now. So here they come, the world champions on the left, the IRB's 6 years champions on the right, the men in black, but here are the men in white. And of course the incomparable mind behind all this, the number 6 on the bench, is Waisali Serevi. He has achieved what he was determined to do this season in this transformation of Fijian rugby. He leads the side but waits on the bench with a side of huge pace and talent against a determined New Zealand side who haven't won a tournament this season but have the talent to do so now under the leadership of Tafai Yoasa, Rudy Wolf, who's come back playing so well, and Roy Kinikini-Lau and Edwin Cocker, the power men up front, who will win the battle for possession. Former All Black and England international Jamie Salmon alongside me. It's a close one as we look at Wayne Barnes from England, who will referee. Jamie.
Yes, thank you, Nigel. It's going to be competitive, but that we're very short. These two sides know each other very well, got healthy respect for each other. Fiji on form, but you never know.
Hands away, back feet.
So it's New Zealand already in possession with Raikambula setting it away, and wide they go to Kinikini-Lau. Lovely feed inside. Rudy Wolf. Little Rudy Wolf going on the outside. It's all about pace here. Bolavutu chases, and Rudy Wolf is snaffled, in fact, by Nanuku in the end. But driving to the line, that's the Fijian line. The try is on here, but it's in touch. It's in touch. The saving effort of Nakalavuki, and heart in mouth, perhaps, Gordon Teachins there, the inspirational coach of New Zealand. Just tantalising moments here.
Well, it's fantastic cover defence by Fiji. You think the try's on, but look at the way Nakalavuku turns his man. He turns him over. You can see the ball is not grounded.
Still danger, Fiji. Tinakong. And Tinakong, which will give New Zealand the ball. Waisali Serevi, the 37-year-old inspirational player, the brains behind the outfit, the coach and captain, and unusually anxious look on his face. It's New Zealand with the scrummage. They go deep back to Sweeney, who's been a find and a half. Kinikini-Lau, the power, poor pass to Rudy Wolf. Bolavutu, his tackle, trying to charge through, is Sweeney again. He's been quite a thorn in the flesh. That ball was out. It's a brilliant steal. And here's Bolavutu. Give him half a yard, he's away. Now it's on Vavolovola.
Hands off, hands off!
Well, the magical South Sea Islanders, but up against a tough outfit here today. Naevo, lovely loop pass, such a good offload, and again, this time to Nanuku. But the cover's great, but here's the power. Go with me, come inside, says Naevo. He does to Tonawai. Oh, what a score from deep in their own 22. And Dale, or Ratu Dali, Tangimanalevu Tonawai, scores the opening try.
Very well worked indeed. Tonawai was called inside. Not at that moment, but it's when this run happens. You can see the way he's called inside, Tonawai. There's the perfect timing of the pass by Sakua, and Tonawai is comfortably home.
All this season he has played in the IRB Sevens, Tonawai from Nandaroga, and scores under the post to give it the simplest of conversions for Naomi Nanuku. His greatest of rivals. Fiji in every cup final until last week in Paris. There's Gordon Teachins. Been in charge of New Zealand since the IRB Sevens began, and before that as well. A master coach, a master uncoverer of talent. But there's a fundamental error, a basic error, that the ball didn't travel the 10 metres. It gives a free kick to New Zealand.
It's interesting that Nanuku is playing in a sweeper situation for Fiji. They got 6 across the park, and Nanuku is playing fullback to try and sweep across any breaches of the first line of defence.
Looking at two teams, shorn of a couple of players. Corey Jane is playing for New Zealand Maras in the Churchill Cup, and Ryder was suspended or disciplined from Fiji's side. No Johnny Daunavuthu, who's under suspension as well. Two of their stars of this season, in which Fiji have won 3 titles. They want a 4th.
Offside 11, never onside.
Offside, that was against Nabuliwaka. Away goes Rudy Wolf. pops it back inside. Good offload to Edwin Cocker from Otago.
Backwards.
Popped up now.
Hands away, no hands.
Rudy Wolf the link. Rakambula underway with Soakai. 10 is Sweeney. Into his own man. Accidental offside.
Ball down, please.
Inexperienced mistake, really, wasn't it? Sweeney cutting back inside, didn't have the gas on the outside. It allows Fiji to relieve the pressure. They're electing, somewhat unusually for Fiji, to go for touch.
As if they just wanted to cool it down a little bit, just calm. It's tense out there. Riveted crowd here. Some must be getting on for 30,000 here today. And Fiji with support around the world. This their national sport, and I know that they're listening there and all around the world. That's gone forward, and it's an offside, of course, the knock-on taken by the player offside. But all of you who are watching on Setanta Sports or Fiji or in Portugal, Samoa, South Africa, this is building to a great climax. Tafayuasa with the tap penalty, ever present in this side, the real voice and player of experience in his 40th tournament today. Knock on.
That's twice now.
Twice. Oh.
Do not shout at me.
Well, I'm not sure that was too clever by Soakai. Just bowling over Alfred Pelanisi. And danger for Nambuluwaka. Offside twice in a row.
Yes, he's on the final warning. It's touch and go, but it is offside, but he's on final warning. One more transgression of any kind as he's just relieved of the ball.
We don't need yellow cards. Let's play 7 against 7 if we can, but that's in the hands of the players and to a lesser extent the referee. This is Kini Lau. Kini Lau's powerful, big handoff, big try, confidently inside to Soakai to plant it under the posts and surely pull New Zealand level. Soakai the scorer. The scoring pass from Kini Lau, the conversion by Dwayne Sweeney from Waikato.
Well, it's Kini Lau's try, that's for sure. He's the one that makes all the running and then has the foresight at the end to pass it infield to make that conversion easier. He's over the try line there and lobbed it over the top of Soakai.
Let's go.
And it's all level.
Key influence, Roy Kini Lau, who returns this season. Has had a spell with the Otago Highlanders in the Super 14 tournament. Before that with Wellington Hurricanes. And how does the time fly? 7 minutes gone, 7 points apiece. Possession kicked away. One of the shrewd rugby brains of Sevens rugby. And for Fiji, Maisali Serevi, 37 now, who first played the Hong Kong Sevens in 1989, started in the IRB tournaments as a mere youngster from Suva, but had spells in Leicester, Modern Master, Staines, New Zealand, Australia. There's teach-ins again, all 7 seasons of the IRB Sevens. Knows they've lost the title, has accepted the fact graciously in a rebuilding season. But remember, they did win the Commonwealth Games, so we have the Commonwealth Games champions against the world champions. Go New Zealand! They've had a good, happy, long day out by the look of it. Such is the spirit of sevens. 7 minutes to play, a place in the final to face England or Samoa. Brilliant sunshine has graced both days here at Twickenham. Hard going on the players, but wonderful for the spectators. There's another error, perhaps nerves, because those restart kicks are so important. You can play on if you wish, and Dawai, and rather Tonawai, is the man to keep it alive for Fiji.
No advantage, free kick.
And the referee says all the way back to the free kick. Advantage allowed. Wayne Barnes in charge, the young upcoming England top flight referee. This is Vola Vola. Manages to stay on his feet. They're so strong in the tackle. Now the availability is key. Turnover ball.
Well defended New Zealand. They certainly did well there. Tokai was the one that made the tackle and wrapped himself around to make sure that the ball didn't come out Fiji's way. Ditchens would have liked that.
Yeah, those close quarter skills are so important. Advantage offside against Nanuku. Is advantage over yet? No.
No advantage, number 10, offside.
Certainly the referees and the English ones in particular, and obviously there's a dominance of English referees here because the tournament's being hosted in the UK, in London, and they do play advantage a lot longer than some of the other referees.
Which can be very beneficial to the game, keeps the flow and can often produce a real scoring chance. Rob Debney is another of the panel. Dean Richards, Wayne Barnes. Barnes the man out here. It's locked still with 6 minutes to play at 7 points apiece. The oldest rivals. They dominated the sevens in the early years of the IRB tournament. They shared every title the first 3 years. But here's New Zealand on the break. It must be in for Rudy Wolff. Rudy Wolff to the corner. So this miraculous man who's recovered from severe broken neck injury a year ago is back with a vengeance, and to be a thorn in the flesh here against Fiji.
But it comes from a set piece. It's Sweeney who makes the break. He's the one that does all the running to enable Wolff to have the run in. But Fiji will be disappointed that it came straight from a line out rather than broken play.
Try number 6 for Rudy Wolff, and what an important one. Gives New Zealand the lead 12-7. Dwayne Sweeney, the new expert at this, but not quite this time, ducks under the bar. There's the young utility back from Waikato, first tournament this season. Wellington, home territory. Anxious looks. Serevi still waits on the bench. Took over as coach last season. Took Fiji to the World Cup title. Oh, what a wonderful duck by Nabuliwaka. Nabuliwaka against one. He's got pace. They'll not catch him. Nabuliwaka goes back on the arc to take him under the post and dives to finish it off. Oh, sensational. How can you not love the Fijians on song?
Well, straight from the kick-off. Look at the way he ducks underneath the first tackle, and he knows he's away. And it's a question of gas, but he also has the foresight to angle to his left. He knows the extra 2 points are absolutely critical.
Added now by Nanuku, and Fiji lead 14-12. It was bound to be tense, and who should come on now but Waisale Serevi to try and lead his men home into the final. So here he is, the key element of his game these days. One of them is these restart kicks. He won't let it drop short of 10 metres. He'll put it on exactly 11 metres and create havoc in New Zealand defence.
Hands off,
and they've won it back. Or have they? New Zealand, in fact, retain it just. Neat inside pass to Rai Kambula against Nanuku.
No hands!
No hands. Ruck form, penalty New Zealand. The warning was given. In fact, the player dived over, didn't stay on his feet, so New Zealand take it quickly and try and spin it wide to Kini Lau now. Master of the handoff. Check this time, loose pass. Giveaway pass, that was. This is Nankalavuki, sorry. Is it turned over again? It is. Up from Kini Lau. Wide to Sweeney. Turns tail, tries to go up the middle, gets away. Still ducking, darting, weaving. Held, is he finally? No, he slipped a lot of them. Dwayne Sweeney pulls it back. New Zealand's way, they take the lead again. That was extraordinary. How many men did he beat? Yeah, he deserves a tap of a reward on the head. The Waikato man, watch this.
Well, how he does this, only he probably knows. It's not the quickest break he'll ever make, but somehow they just roll off him. And that could be a huge score for New Zealand.
The elusive eel, Dwayne Sweeney. Scored points in every round, principally through the boot, that was his third try of this London Sevens, and what a vital one it was. Misses the kick, that too could be critical. It leaves it at 17-14. We have a minute and a bit to play. A place in the final at stake. Fiji want their 4th title. New Zealand want their 1st of the season. They've got to get to the final first, and it's all in the balance with a minute and a bit to go. The world champions against the Commonwealth champions. Set up by Tonawai for Fiji. One last thrust. There's a battle royal here. Serevi dumped by Forbes. DJ Forbes, penalty. Have they one last bit of magic in those shoes, in those hands? Serevi into trouble, but has support, and he's still on his feet, can offload to Naivo. There's the hooter. Serevi, last chance. He's isolated. They'll try and bury him here. He's laid it back. It's with Tonawai. Tonawai offloads to Bolavuthu. Don't count them out. Laiasia Tora to Serevi. One last thrust, is it? This is Nanuku. Beats one man, holds the ball just. Now then, on the break. Advantage over. Can he go himself? Great tackle on Nankalavuki. The support from Torres under the post. They've done it at the death. That's Fiji all over. I don't believe it, says Titchens. That is the sensational, the most dramatic finish. I thought New Zealand had saved the day, but it was not to be, and Laiasia Satora rounds it off. Unbelievable.
It is quite unbelievable. The Buliwaka does well. He's on the floor, but let's go the ball to get back up. And look at this for a pop pass. Absolutely extraordinary.
New Zealand are stunned, and not surprisingly, they must have thought they'd clung on, but no, don't ever count these men out if they're in with a score to win it. 21-17, sensational tie, but for Fiji, they have made the final. New Zealand are desperate, despair for them. They thought they'd made the final, which they've missed out all season. They haven't made a final, let alone won a tournament. I thought finally they'd done so, but no. The world champions and this man eventually were to deny them that honour. And Fiji will place in the final either England or Samoa. What a...
Can do all he likes, but he can't bring on any. We can bring on one, but that's it, and it's just too big an ask. It's going to take an unbelievable effort for England to pull this one off, because they, some might argue, were somewhat fortuitous in the first game they played today against France. And as Ben Gollings leads the side out, it'll be interesting what develops.
England and Samoa take to the field at Twickenham ahead of the second Cup semi-final. And there are some tired players out there already, even before we start. England winners of 3 tournaments this season in Dubai, in Los Angeles, in Hong Kong. Runners-up to Fiji in Singapore. The referee is an Irishman, Simon McDowell, and it will be Ben Gollings to kick off.
Just make sure they're behind whenever you kick it. Some more, captain, ready? Okay, here we go.
England facing an uphill task, not beyond them, but a big ask, as Ben Gollings, with the just about the perfect kick in terms of distance. It went 10 and a bit meters.
No hands wide.
Samoa with possession, and this is Jerry Meafu. And Meafu taking the ball into contact.
Don't come inside, England.
Uali Mai. And now Mikaele Senio, whose brother John, of course, is a full Samoan international. And Iasua, who's proved such a difficult man to stop, both last weekend and this, in Paris and in London. Uali Mai. And Mai with 3 outside him. Fayuaga. And now Meafu. And on the far side, it's Treviranus. And England's cover tackler's just got across in time. Samoa come again with Meafu. Now Uali Mai. And the kick, which is being pursued, but it's overhit. England will be relieved by that.
England, scrum here.
Well, the Samoan coach tells you pretty much what he thinks of that particular execution. It was not the right option to kick, and Dafua, the coach, showed his disgust at that great tackle by Andrew Vilk in the far right-hand corner to deny Samoa the first try. So they've weathered the early storm. Now can England get some ball and pose some threats to the Samoan defence?
There's Mike Friday, who can only watch on. He must feel pretty helpless at this stage. He's given his instructions. Many of his regular lieutenants are unavailable to him. Gollings with the restart, and Gollings gathers as well. And here's Richard Horton, who's off to Canada in the morning to the Churchill Cup. And now on the outside, the paceman Dave Strettle, and Strettle is dragged into touch, hauled down by Iasua.
Iasua's not going to give him any quarter. Strettle did well though, tested him. Good effort.
Fayuaga. And Narraway missed the tackle, and Samoa could be in here with Mikaele Senio. And Senio is hauled down 10-12 metres out from the England line. The dummy from Fayuaga. And Uali Mai. Mikaele and Treviranus. Treviranus appeared to be boxed in but wasn't. Spins away from the attempted tackle and scores the opening try of this semi-final for Samoa.
Well, it didn't look too much trouble for England in defence there, but if you do, Strettle does really well to wrap up the player, but he slips it away, and it's unfortunately James Bailey who is left wanting by Treviranus, and he goes in very comfortably for the first try.
And Uali Mai will attempt the conversion, and it's wide. So Samoa lead by 5 points to 0. It's galling for England to be playing this without the 2004 IRB Sevens Player of the Year, Simon Amor, their captain, and without Will Matthews, Johnny Hilton, and Ben Foden, who's on crutches at the moment with an ankle problem. Mai with the restart. Gathered by Vilk for England. Gollings. Russell. Now James Bailey onto Narraway. This is a little better from England. Inside Samoan territory. Bailey. Vilk. And now Horton, who's got Strettle outside him. Horton drawing the cover. Strettle into the gap. Strettle beyond Mai, but Mai pulls him back. It's a good tackle. Vilk borrowing for the ball, but England get the decision.
It's a great tackle. So he also wraps him up at the same time. Couldn't get the offload away. But good power and pace from Strettle.
Stop the clock.
That's what two men get him, and then he gets the ball as well. He couldn't get the ball away, and Struttle's rather slow in getting up, and I'm afraid he's got to get up, such as England's depleted reserves.
Because there is virtually no one else. They've only got Ollie Phillips they can call on the bench. Dave Strettle, who's had this standout first season in IRB Sevens, made his debut in Wellington. 5 tries in the first half of the game against Papua New Guinea there.
Engage on the shirt, on the shirt.
Bailey with the put in and with possession. Scooped up by Gollings and then thrown away. Strettle got a boot to the ball. Horton takes it and then is rocked back.
Blue, move.
And England do well to recycle it. Here's James Bailey of Gloucester. Looks suspiciously forward.
Scrum.
The referee concurs.
Came forward. Scrum.
Well,
Dicky Tafua, the coach of Samoa.
Yeah, and things aren't quite going Luke Narroway's way at the moment. He's missed a couple of tackles, and that pass was not what England asked for. They were on course to getting a bit of continuity going in their game and beginning to threaten the Samoan line and possibly getting back on level terms. Good scrum, though.
Senio manages to usher it clear for Samoa into the wide open spaces through the hands of Senio, and now it's with Iosua. Ualemai, the playmaker for Samoa. This is Makaile, and now it's Trevor Arnott, scorer of the try. Faiaga.
Rock White!
In with the tackle.
Stay last feet.
Mai. And now Meafu. Overlap on the far side. The man waiting for the ball is Iosua, and Iosua is held man and ball by Horton.
White.
And there's an advantage here for England.
No advantage, came forward.
All went forward.
Here, white ball. Move away slowly.
England holding on, and Horton did remarkably well there.
Scrum here, white ball, came forward.
And every time an England player goes down, you shudder and wonder whether they're capable of getting up again.
Well, it's the cumulative effect as well. I mean, the fact that in the last game only one guy got a break, you know, I mean, Horton struggling to get on his feet. We haven't reached half-time yet. There's another 7 to go in this particular game, but there's for this relatively early stage in the game, there's a lot of hands on knees.
So Phil Greening there alongside Mike Friday.
Play or sub?
Well, Horton comes across and does well. He smothers his man there. Now, he's got no chance of getting away from the ball. It's all pretty tight in there.
No, white ball.
And certainly Samoan player down injured as well.
It's too strong a position. You must be on top and on the shirt.
It was Iosua who was tackled by Horton.
On top and on the shirt. You must go square. He must go square.
Referee leading the coaching session into how he wants the two
Crouch and hold,
sides to scrum down. There's Dicky Tiafu again. His nephew is one of the replacements on the bench for Samoa. This is Gollings, and now Horton, so close to his own line. Closing moments of the first half of this second Cup semi-final. Weary England, relieved to get a penalty. Samoa failing to roll away. This is Vilk. There's the hooter. And Vilk evades one tackler, but not the second. Gollings gets it back from Russell. Here's James Bailey. And Horton on the bounce. Gollings was waiting in field. Horton forced to accept the two-man tackle. Gollings, the kick and the chase. And it's helped out of play by a Samoan boot, and that is half-time. And there has just been the one first-half score of Fisa Trevoranis with a try for Samoa, and they lead England by 5 points to 0.
More fox, heads up. Listen in.
Stay up.
Certain things you need to be mindful of. They're going to 7 up. They're going to 7 up. Certain times they're going to 7 up. The key thing is you've got to manage the pace of the game. Look after the ball. You're not sure. In the rang assim como fa, olha como vai, vista na mão. Ah, se chama ya, ale como ele tu. Ah, melhor por isso que tu, como não vai o option. Ali. Ah, mas cada pico já foi se chama. Ali. Cada pico já. Se chama.
Official, Elvis is in the house. England hanging on in this semi-final against Samoa. Battered, bruised, wearied, still standing, if in some cases only just. Buali Mai. That goes Narroway, bounces obligingly though for Senio. Back with Mai. Samoa, whose best performance this season was as runners-up to South Africa last weekend in Paris. They also played in the semi-final in Dubai. And this is Trevor Arness. And Trevor Arness is hauled back by a combination of Gollings and Russell. And the ball is out. Spotted by the eagle-eyed touch judge.
Well, England are unchanged at the moment from the 7 that started. Horton on the left wing is really struggling. As soon as I say that, well, it's Phillips for Horton, which, with the greatest respect to Ollie Phillips, it's not a pace-for-pace replacement. But look at Horton. I mean, he's been like that last minute of the first half, and his day is run, as they say.
So no more room for replacements for England. They've no one else that's fit. And some of them are more or less out on their feet, and this is the chip and chase by Iasua. And the in-goal judge says yes, try given. Iasua, and given England's plight physically, difficult to see a way back.
It is now. It's the chip over the top. He managed to get through 2 English defenders, and it's also very close to the dead ball line as well, but he's in. It's a fair call at the in-goal. Official is right there, so good awareness and vision from Iasua, but Strettle and Phillips are struggling to get back.
Hatful of tries this weekend in Europe. That's 6 now for Iasua. Mai is short and wide with the conversion attempt. Iasua, the leading try scorer in IRB 7s this season. 6 of those 38 have been scored here in London. And Samoa lead England by 10 points to 0. Nail-biting time for Mike Friday. So wanted to end the season, if not able to catch Fiji in the overall standings, at least by winning the home event. Got to the final last year, and they were beaten by South Africa. They won the previous 2. But here they're up against it, and they are struggling. And Samoa look like they're heading for a match against Fiji for the Cup. Here's Strettle. Gollings. Outside him was Ollie Phillips. Gollings comes back the other way. James Bailey. Phillips.
Away blue.
Bailey. Isn't really a gap.
You see, there's 4 English players in that mould. You see, so there's no opportunity really to create space out wide. There's too many. There's 4 there, and only Samoa only had 2, although they transgressed. But they can't afford that.
Gollings to Bailey. And Bailey plots a route outside of the England 22. Pulled back by Meafu. Holding on. Samoan tap. Mai. England grateful for the wayward pass. And England have another player injured, James Bailey.
11 blue substitution.
Well, the mind wanted to go for it. The legs aren't willing. It's a good cover tackle. And that was a little, I wouldn't say a right arm, but certainly the forearm was swinging from Miufu, I think it was, the number 5 from Samoa, which Bailey obviously felt. And they've now lost possession because it's a Samoan put into the scrum right on England's 22.
Okay, thank you. Start the clock. Hold, engage.
There's just no spark from England. I mean, Mike Friday looks on distraught, but there's no spark, there's no pace. You know, they want to do well, but they just got enough. The tank is empty.
Bind the shirt.
Very flat. Which is a shame at the end of what overall has been a decent season for them. They're going to end as runners-up in the IRB series to Fiji.
Away, White.
Mai. This is Mikaele, and Mikaele with the cross kick, and Iasua is there, and Iasua gets his second try. And that, beyond any doubt really, puts Samoa into the final against Fiji.
Well, Samoa played it well. Quick look up and a perfectly weighted kick. Iasua. And Dave Strettle, nothing he can do about that at all. And to be fair, Samoa have been the far the better side. Hats off to them. They've taken their chances well. And they now know they've got a quiet little encounter in the final against their friends from Fiji.
Mai won't add the extra 2 points. But by virtue of 3 tries to England's none, Samoa lead by 15 points to 0. And England, Jamie, subsiding gently.
Yes, they've been gallant. There's no question about that. I mean, no side in the world can get through quarters, semi and final with 8 players. You just can't do it. It's just not possible. It's too physical, it's too quick. Conditions are warm and not necessarily muggy, but it's just a hard ask, and you just can't do it with 8 players when the rest of them have got 12.
Here's Bailey, one of those who has sustained another injury in the midst of the game, and he, like so many of his teammates, looking sluggish, bereft of energy. Here's Ollie Phillips. Ball went forward. So England will end the season with 3 tournament wins. In Dubai, in Los Angeles and Hong Kong. They will finish in second place in the IRB series. And here's Ollie Phillips, flicking it out to Dave Strettle. Strettle of Rotherham.
Advantage, you can't play it off on the floor. Hands off, blue. Last feet.
Phillips.
Advantage over, let it go.
Built to Bailey. And Bailey at least looking for something, maybe to rouse the crowd one last time in England's cause. Won't alter the result. Across comes Wali Mai.
Wali Mai is certainly very much the leader for Samoa, isn't he? He reads the game very well indeed. Good throw by England, though. This could be a chance for them.
Here's Phillips, and here's the flyer, Strettle. Can he get away? Yes, he can. Something for the crowd to cheer at least. Consolation in defeat as Dave Strettle scores a try for a very weary England. Try number 5 here. The conversion is academic from Ben Gollings. Dave Strettle going in for the score. But it's Samoa who progress. Many of the England players down on their knees either side of the halfway line. They carried so many injuries into this game. Even more were sustained during the course of it, but smiles from Samoa, handshakes from the England skipper, the injured Simon Amor, and it will be Samoa against Fiji for the title here at Twickenham.
The London Sevens is proudly brought to you
Jacco, another piece of silverware, not the one you'd have really wanted, but you must be pleased with the way you finished the whole 7th season off.
Yeah, I suppose we can be pleased. I mean, obviously we had that second spot in mind, and this morning was quite a big setback, but at least it's a bit of silverware. It's nice for the cabinet at home. And yeah, the guys, I mean, I think we had a good season, and I'm chuffed and I'm pleased with the performances we had.
Good final for you personally, a couple of tries?
Oh, I think they asked nicely, because I'm not the biggest try scorer. Well, I think my tournaments are almost more than my tries, but this helped a bit. Yeah, it's always good fun to play at Twickenham, and very special to score a try or two.
And a lot of new guys or old guys coming back into the South African squad this year. Are you going to be able to keep that core of it together for next year and build on this?
I honestly hope so. I think we've got a nice blend of guys who can take the ball up and play the physical game, and then a lot of speed as well. And I think we proved during Paris and I suppose yesterday that we've got the right guys here. And with support of South African rugby, hopefully we can keep them here. I mean, continuity is the biggest thing, and to have some experience in the side definitely helps.
So really going for the series, get into that top 2 next year.
Yeah, I mean, I think we've been struggling along for too many years now, and I honestly, like I spoke to Serevi, and they made a decision right in the beginning of the year, and I think it's something we failed to do, and we should take tournament after tournament. Those first ones are very crucial to take.
Thanks a lot, well done.
Thank you very much.
Jacco Pretorius, the triumphant captain of the plate, winning South African side. So we come to the 44th and final tie at the end of this series of the IRB Sevens, this the Emirates Airline London Sevens, and the 7th cup final this season for Fiji, their 28th final in all. They've won 3 titles this season, but they've had the big success over their great South Sea Island rivals from Samoa. So here are Fiji in the lineup, all the talents that made them the world champions, players like Samisi Naebo, the pace of Bolabuthu and Nanuku, and the close quarter skills of all of them really. And Waisali Serevi leads from behind on this occasion. He stays on the bench, but so often comes on as a key man, the 37-year-old, in the latter stages to calm things down and see things home. Here are Samoa. Well, it's only their 4th ever final. They've never ever won an IRB Sevens tournament title, and it's their first time in a cup final against Fiji. This their 4th final, and they're still looking for a first win. Fiji, as ever, well supported, and what a great South Sea Island battle we have in prospect. 4 finals, and this their 5th. Could it be a first ever win? These rival talents, and a grand finale. Jamie Salmon is alongside me, and they've earned it, haven't they?
Yes, very much so, and whether Samoa will earn the biggest prize and that elusive first title remains to be seen. Fiji, obviously winners of the overall series. I don't think that'll matter much to them. I think they want to go out with a win as well. I don't think they'll relax one iota, and I think Samoa are going to have to work very, very hard to claim this first title.
From England comes Rob Debney, and this, well, the most grueling of finales, because the cup final is always 10 minutes each way. Their first meeting in the final, South Sea Island v South Sea Islands, and I know all of you watching live with us, well, your hearts will be in your mouths, because this is the grand classic from your region. Fiji, the world champions, to set things underway. The tenacious Samoans. Play on, says the referee.
Hands up! Rook! I called Rook!
Put your hands off it. This is the captain, the inspiration over the years, Uali Mai, in his 40th tournament, the mainstay of Samoan Sevens rugby.
Roll away, White! Rook!
How hard they've looked to win a first title. Made the final last week in Paris. That was their 4th, this is their 5th. They lost that day to South Africa, but today they've come through against South Africa and England in the cup rounds. And here's the remarkable teenager, the 19-year-old Timoteo Iosua onto Kennedy Tofilau, and indeed to Senio. Beautifully done. Up to Mikhaili, and on to Meafu. The first try is for the men in blue from Samoa.
Well, it was great continuity from Samoa, and it's good support play as well. Even in a contact situation, they wrestle out of a couple, and then it's a Meafu manages to get his hands on it, and it's a clear run in.
From the Scopa Club, all these players based in and around Apia, the capital of Samoa. But a significant worry for Fiji must be an injury to Filimoni Bolavuthu, as we watch the conversion attempt go off target from Uali Mai. And the referee has stopped the clock. You can see Bolavuthu still on the deck, being attended by Vanassi Ramambuki, the physio, and Serevi looks on anxiously. He goes in here with the tackle, and obviously went in awkwardly there. Not sure if it's his head that is injured, maybe cut. He's back on his feet. He wears a head guard anyway, just as well in that circumstance. And what a talent this man is, Filimoni Bolavuthu from Suva, who has scored in 4 of the rounds of this year's London Sevens. 25 tries this season for Bolavuthu. What an important influence he has been, or still yet could be now. But Samoa, terrier-like. Uali Mai, good vision, always. And their handling so often superb. This is strong running, and here comes Samoa again. Perhaps one man too many there by Trevor Annis, but they recycle it to Mikhaili, to Uali Mai, back to Mikhaili. They mean business. They've longed for a title. They've come so close so often against the big teams. The drive to the line, and Senio. Mikhaili Senio, try number 2.
Well, Samoa are continuing to ask questions of the Fijian defence, and it's Nanuku who's left to make the one-on-one tackle. He goes too high, and Senio is in far too high.
Well, I have to say I've willed them to win a title after being so near so many times. Defeats them against the big teams like England, 5 points to 7, 17 to 21, 10 points to 14. The Cup quarter-final in Singapore, 12 points to 14. Always, it seems, within one score. The bridesmaid, never the bride. But is this to be the day here at Twickenham? In the last tournament of this season, the kick is missed by Uali Mai, but it's 2 tries to 0. It's 10 points to 0. But it's a long way home yet.
And it certainly is if you don't add the 2 points. That was a more difficult kick than the first one, but I think Uali Mai's conversion attempts have been poor today, and that could count for a lot at the end of the game.
Indeed. Titimaya Tafua, their coach, you saw looking on as Tonawai gets possession.
Keep moving 3 blue to Rock. No, get out 3 blue, get out.
Fiji, we know, the overall champions of the season. They want to end with the title, as Jamie Salmon says, and they're coming on a drive now with Nankalavuki. Takes such a deal of stopping the smaller Samoans, finding it a struggle and a half as he makes, what, 30 metres with men clinging to him, Nankalavuki. Up to the 22, and still with Fiji. Away by Naevo, on to Tonawai. But the big hits coming in. Samoa, tremendous tacklers. Volavola struggling to keep possession for Fiji.
Let it come, let it come.
This is where the effort goes in at the end of 2 hard days and a 20-minute final.
Let it come, let it come. There it is, let it come, Blue. Leave it, Blue. Leave it.
Well, the pile-up eventually results in ball for Fiji. Nankalavuki again. Pick up by Big Naevo. The big tackles though still pile in. Meafu that time. But there's a chance here. Oh, it's a clever move. And it's going to be the first score for Fiji. Nabuliwaka, brilliant little bit of opportunism there. Lepani Nabuliwaka, he's scored in every round in this tournament, and he's kept Fiji right in there.
He certainly has. But Samoa certainly made them work incredibly hard to get there. No question, their defence was absolutely rock solid, and it was only the chip over the top. Nabuliwaka, that was the only option left to him, because they were getting nowhere with ball in hand. It just bounces up lovely, and he firms that ball down to the ground. There's no doubt about that, but it took a long time coming for Fiji.
The 25-year-old from Red Rock, home of sevens in Suva. And these are island nations for whom sevens is king.
Keep moving.
It's Mikaele on the break. That's cleverly done. Lovely offload. Now they're in business again. This is Meafu. Perhaps should have stayed out wide, but there's still the support. It's a race to the line, and it's going to be the score for the teenager. What a player this Timoteo Yosua is proving to be. He's played every tournament this season, and that's his 40th try.
Well, what a marvellous response. Meafu got it first, and then on to Sinio, who scored the previous try. God, he's a determined runner, isn't he? He's absolutely determined, and what a great response to conceding a try from a minute or so ago. Samoa mean business today, don't they?
They have that extra edge of determination, it seems. Keenest, of course, against their closest of island rivals in those beautiful islands in the South Pacific. Huali Mai this time is off target again. It's 15-7. He keeps it nail-bitingly close. 8 points is nothing in a 20-minute sevens game. And it's always, well, he looks less anxious than he did in the semi-final.
It was quite interesting. All the rounds before the final, he's worn a tracksuit. And in the final, he's not. Read into that what you will, but he's primed and ready to go. He's leading a warm-up now. So he's worn a tracksuit when the sun's been scorching down. He's had a tracksuit on, but for the final, he is ready at any given moment.
And can choose himself when to come on as player coach. He's getting his lads jogging around as the play resumes. 15 points to 7. Still 3 minutes of this first half to play as Ratudali Tangimanalevu Tonawai gets possession first off. And now with Vola Vola. But the Samoans, they just work and work and work, and it's, as you saw in support, so in the tackle. One man fails, the other goes in.
You're off your feet, go.
And quickly taken, danger again. Nabuliwaka tries the skip step, but in touch he goes, and that'll be a throw into Samoa.
Happy? Yeah, good.
Well, Samoa are going to hold their nerve here. They must go in ahead, I believe. But once again, this man's a real threat. He got the first try with a despairing attempt in the end. But Samoa have got to make sure they win the line out, keep their composure. And you'll see there, Samoa, one of the best tacklers in the competition.
And how? Oh, it's a dangerous bound to Ali Mai in trouble. 5 metre scrum.
5 metres.
Well, they didn't hear me. That composure was found wanting there. It was a anxious tap back, wasn't it? But of all people, Huali Mai was the one that dropped it.
Yes, the guy with unfailing hands normally.
Let's go.
Well, these two met in Singapore in the Cup quarter-final, 14-12, the last time they met. It went to Fiji. But Samoa, so determined, and it's Nabuliwaka, is it again? I think so. Devastating at short distance, all long. And it's closed to 15 points to 12. Still in Samoa's favour, but look at this for a snap decision.
Well, it was certainly messy, wasn't it? It can't be classified as clean scrum ball, but somehow he wrestles himself free. The sheer determination of the man, Nabuliwaka, and this conversion is very important. Nanuku.
9 tries in this tournament, 2 in this final for Lepani Nambuluwaka, big kick here, as you say. What a kick too! Oh, they are men of the moment. They rise to the occasion. The bigger the occasion, the better they seem to play. They take the quick restart. The referee's not happy. Rob Debney calls them back. It's down to Samoa 15, Fiji 14. We're in the last seconds of this first 10 minutes as Timotheo Tafua, the coach for Samoa, looks on. That'll be a free kick. They'll play that despite the hooter. So can Samoa get something again before half-time, come back once more, extend that 1-point lead? Uali Mai, bit of misunderstanding. It goes on with Trevor Annis. Through the legs, neatly done via Senio. Uali Mai sets it up well, half chance here. Fijians all round, there's advantage for offside. Not this time for Nambuluwaka. And he can run them in from there, just as he can from 5 yards. And there the stretchers, as the bench replacements wait their turn. So here's Uali Mai. This will be the last play of this first half, the first 10 minutes. It's 29 points on the board, but only one between them, and Samoa have the edge. Little advantage. Shot to Yosua. No. It's half-time, and they will turn round. It's on a knife edge. And there's Philemoni Bolavuthu and Fiji, as we saw in that dramatic finale with New Zealand, can never be counted out. On comes Serevi. Some pertinent words of advice. Never anything by way of histrionics. Keeps things calm, and that's one of his great talents, isn't it? To cool what can be a very excitable Fijian squad.
That's right, and he certainly has, despite his advancing years, probably still got the quickest mind and reads a given situation quicker than anybody. And that's what he'd be doing. I mean, they haven't played their best. They're 1 point behind. They're 3 tries to 2 behind, and that doesn't matter. And Serevi is just making it abundantly clear the way to approach the second half. And I suspect if they won't do it, he'll come on and do it himself.
And so, the words of Timotheo Tafua. They had a great last 2 tournaments. They made the final last week, Samoa. First time this season. But fell at the hands of South Africa. So the last huddles, the last 10 minutes. That's a little spray to keep the hands dry and get rid of the sweatiness.
I think the interesting thing also, Nigel, will be the use of the substitutions with 10 minutes each way, and being, you know, the last game of a 2-day tournament. The 3 guys that come on have got a big responsibility to inject some new pace into the game. And from the coach's point of view, they've got to analyse which one of the players is most tired and bring on the right people in the right places.
Rapt crowd there, the proud Samoans. Can they make that breakthrough? 3 times runners-up, never the title. Great pick-up, wonderful pick-up by Yosua. And now a chance, 3-2 out here. They do it quickly. Uali Mai tried to get the pass round. Instead, it's into the hands of Trevor Annis, but loses it on the touchdown.
Okay, first. Right.
Oh, the look of despair.
Well, what a start that would have been. Uali Mai once again spots the little gap. Fiji in hand just gets in the way of the original pass. And I think he was looking to pass. If he'd been looking to score that, he might have got over.
So Fiji, with a let-off, have the 5-metre scrum put in. Samoa disrupt, but are penalised for going round the side. They await. And Nambuluwaka wants to get on and get away. The referee says, come back, cool it. And he took a bit of a bang as he went. This is Naivo. can stand up with the ball and just offload with one hand as the player clings to him.
Go back, go back, go back.
And he was tempted to pick it up then.
Ball was out, play on.
Ball was out, and it's a scramble for possession. And on the break is Nakalavuki, and again with the fly hack. Back there is Timoteo Iosua. Oh, and Bolavuthu has stolen it, and O's under the post, and Fiji lead for the first time. Chapter of errors for Samoa.
Well, Samoa made the penalty of not being able to go back and gather the ball. That was brave, but certainly the next couple, they don't dive early enough, and they allow the Fiji, especially in this situation here, they allow the Fijians to get in ahead of them, and that makes it very easy.
And with the conversion over, it's 21 points to 15. The balance changes again. The lead belongs now to Fiji for the first time. And Bolavuthu doesn't miss a chance. Oh, the agony of it for Titomea Tafua, the coach of Samoa.
Number 1.
Took a knock, did Mefu. He's all right to continue, but they're ringing the changes here. Fa'ayunga, I think, has been replaced. We'll see by whom. I think it's Tofilau's come on. Keneti Tofilau. Here goes Nakalavuki. Nakalavuki on the charge, and he slips tackles again, as he's done so often, and drives home Fiji's advantage.
Well, is the Samoan defence getting too tired too early? You know, Walimai, that's very unlike him.
Absolutely, he just does not miss those tackling opportunities, and however big and strong Nakalavuki would have been felled by a normal, perhaps fully strong Ualimai. As Nanuku adds the 2 points, and Fiji begin to stretch away. It's 2 converted tries by which they now lead, and there's the, well, they can't celebrate yet, but there's excitement in that camp of supporters.
And I think Tapua, the Samoan coach, has got to bring on every sub now. I think he's just got to get fresh legs on there. He's made one change, I think, but I think he's got to get everybody on there to try and arrest the slide.
Time enough, of course. There's still a full 7 minutes, a normal half in the earlier rounds, but there's carelessness here in Samoan ranks. And they're with Nanuku now, our Fiji. Up the middle, underway. They'll not catch him. He has sheer pace, and beginning to draw away now with conviction. Naomi Nanuku, and what a turnaround this has been by Fiji.
Well, in the space of 3 to 4 minutes of this second half, they just turned the game on its head, and they've made Samoa look very, very ordinary. They couldn't get the ball away from the breakdown. Certainly, Meafu was not that keen on going down on the ball, and now they're at 6s and 7s. One step off the left foot, and as you said, there's no way they're going to catch this lad. No way at all.
And I think maybe those changes you call for have come a bit late for Samoa. They brought on Joseph Fonafili, and Afisa Treviranus is being replaced if he gets to hear the call.
Time is off, time is off.
There are 8 players on at the moment. As this man comes on, he's got a sense of timing.
Yeah, there he is. Thank you.
But to be fair to him, he often comes on when they're in trouble. This time, they don't appear to be that way, with 20 points the lead. Waisali Serevi, will we ever see the like of him again? Well, I think maybe next season. He's looking fit, he's looking strong, and he's certainly in command of the situation with Fiji rugby at the 7s game. What an influence. Here's the youngster who's done so well in this first full season at 19, Timoteo Iosua, but looks as though the glory days are going to have to wait another season. Lovely feed from him to Ualimai. Mikaele, just a little slapdash. Those little errors, they're so out of character. Ualimai on the loop. They'll run themselves into the ground. Serevi against Duali Mai, two of the veterans of the piece. And there's that little error again, but there's offside.
You're offside when you knocked it down, you're offside. Play on.
I think a look of agony rather than a smile, and into the hands of Serevi. He won't go the distance, but this man will. That's Nanuku flying home in what can now be a victory celebration. Offloads to the support player, Masaki Davu. Well, this player recalled, and nice gesture really, saying, well, you did all the running to back me up, you can have the score.
It's Duali Mai who's looking for the inside pass, but Serevi's just positioned himself so neatly, and Nanuku, instead of going in for his another try, is that forward?
A good point. Moravi exiles in Nadi for that man there, a full international number 8 at 15s. But these are the world champions, don't forget it, and they're playing it like now. As the injuries follow, Samailu, Mikhaile, one for the record books, one for the film to show the kids in later life. 42 to 15, what a transformation. Last 4 minutes to play. Tapani Nambuliwaka has been a real thorn in the flesh. Sets it up again. Serevi sees the vision of two players out wide, onto Tonawai. Tonawai ducks through one tackle, offloads to Nemisi Naevo. Curtains. But they just keep running. They can all run it in, but they all support, don't they?
Well, it's becoming an exhibition this second half in terms of keeping the ball in hand. Their restart work has been magnificent. They've won every restart as well. And Naevu's this time is the recipient to go in at the corner.
Well, I said before, my heart bleeds at times for the Samoans. They are deserving of a title, but they're going to have to wait till next season to challenge again. This is their 5th cup final. They've never won one. They've been in the tournament series of the IRB 7s from the very start, but they're out for the count now. And here's a man who everyone seems to write off, but goodness, he comes back and back at 37. Forget numbers, I've always said that myself. Numbers mean nothing, it's how you feel. And he feels great because he knows they wanted to end. It was very interesting, Jamie, wasn't it? At the end of the semi-final, when they knew they were overall champions, there was no hint of celebration. As you said at the start, they wanted to get that championship trophy title as winners of this final 7s of the series.
Absolutely right, and certainly Serevi, he's still directing proceedings out there. He still wants this restart one. Samoa don't deserve the drubbing they're getting now. They've made such a wonderful contribution to this event, but I'm afraid, you know, with still a few minutes left, there's still time for Fiji to really rub salt into the wounds.
Well, one has to say they came through the hardest draw with the cup quarter-final against South Africa, the cup semi-final against England. Two very hard, very close matches. And with all due respect to Kenya, they weren't the strongest of opponents for Fiji in their cup quarter-final, though by contrast New Zealand were in the semi.
The other thing to add is that Serevi, I know his fitness has never been his strong point, but since he's become player coach, has been very insistent. And who looks the fittest side?
Absolutely, and he sets the example. He knows he's got to be up there with it himself. Oh, heartbreak for Titimaya Tafua. But, you know, 2 cup finals in a row, albeit as runners-up, is a reflection of the strength of Samoan 7s rugby. Maybe, you know, just 1 or 2 key absentees like Ioane Stanley, who got injured in Paris. He might have made that bit of difference. There's a man down injured again. It's all gone wrong as Nasoni Rocco breaks away. And Bolavuthu wants to just add his name. No, he doesn't. He gives it to Rocco. And again, isn't it, there's always someone with the breakaway player. And it's almost as they do this as a ritual. If you're going to be good enough to get there with me, you can have the scoring pass.
Well, I think also the ethos is let's always have somebody available until such time as we dot the ball down behind the try line. And they've certainly kept to that adage over the last couple of days. And if the guy's made the effort to run all that distance, then he can be the recipient of the try. But again, it's loose ball by Samoa. They're one man down, as you saw there. And here we are, mates all round, mates all day, mates all tournament. Rocco gets the try.
And Fiji take the title. They break the 50-point barrier. Hard to believe when Samoa led at half-time, but one sensed it was ominous. They hadn't a big enough lead to discourage Fiji. They never were clear at any time by sufficient margin. 54 points to 15. There's the man who's brought Fijian Sevens rugby back to the heights where they belonged. The courtesies, the camaraderie, rivals but friends on the IRB 7 circuit, which generates so much of that old-fashioned camaraderie in the game of rugby, which seems to be missing in other particular parts of the game, but not here on the IRB 7 circuit. They meet in the hotels, they stay in the same hotels, they meet at lunch and dinner and training and off the field altogether, and that generates this sporting courtesy and good sportsmanship all round, epitomised by these two teams who are also amongst, of course, the very most talented. So it's Fiji who now confirm in style their IRB overall trophy for this season, and that, of course, is the first time that any nation other than New Zealand will have won that overall series title. And to cap it, they have won the Emirates London Sevens, and they will have a few quiet moments of reflection here and a little prayer. A very religious nation, as indeed are the Samoans, and they will have that quiet time before any celebrations will begin and any trophies will be presented. And I have enormous respect for that. And it will be a little hymn that they sing, as always, at the end of each tournament, as they lock arms. Well, the celebrations will be going on. The kava will be flowing, I'm sure, in those magical islands. Can't wait to get there once again, as Fiji provide a demonstration of the art of sevens rugby. This fabulous sport which puts such an accent on individual skills and fitness and commitment, and the enormous disappointment. They must have had high hopes as they led early on with 2 tries, and then even at half-time were ahead before that onslaught in the second half. And in this great inter-island rivalry, Fiji's 23rd win over Samoa in 28 meetings. For them, it's an 11th title in their 28th final. And here come Fiji to receive the Emirates Airline London Sevens trophy. The coach alongside Diope Tuikabe, manager Usaya Donivalu, and they will receive the trophy from Gary Chapman of the Emirates Airline and Leroy Angel, the president of the Rugby Football Union, alongside him. Bill Nolan from the IRB and Dr. Sid Miller alongside as well, the chairman of the International Rugby Board. There's Gary Chapman, who is a devout lover of Sevens rugby and has done so much to support it. The family of the players are involved too. Remember how Serevi hoisted his young kid on his shoulders when they won the World Cup Sevens. And so Gary Chapman says, pass it across, and along the line goes that magnificent Emirates Airline London Sevens trophy, along with the players who have shown everyone here how the game has been played, and the stand-in captain Samisi Naevo Sukawa, and the man behind the outfit, ever young, Waisali Tiko Solomoni Serevi. So a night of celebration from these modest men, commiseration to Samoa. They can smile now. They have that trophy. They have the overall champions trophy as well. And the top try scorer for the season. "40 tries, you saw him in action just now, so some consolation for Samoa. And there's the teenager, the 19-year-old from Vaiaia in Apia, the capital of Samoa. 40 tries in this season's IRB. Sid Miller shakes his hand, Leroy Angel is there too, and Timoteo Iosua. We'll see more of him, the man who has scored the most tries in the 8 tournaments of this season's IRB Sevens. It will be only small consolation to him, but a memorable achievement. Well, I think Jamie Salmon, you said it would be Fiji all along. You were right.
Well, I was in the end, and I do feel sorry for Samoa, because they didn't deserve the drubbing they've got, and as you say, I think they will come good one day. And Fiji gave a great exhibition, especially in that second half. To win a second half of a final by 40 points was quite exceptional.
And let's give applause to England, who come up to receive the runners-up trophy in the overall IRB 7 series for this season. Dr. Sid Miller, Bill Nolan there, and England, well, my goodness, they had to fight against the odds with so many injuries in the early rounds of this tournament, and 1 or 2 carried over from Paris as well. And they fought bravely, my word, they fought bravely, and took Samoa really to a desperate effort before losing to them in the Cup semi-final, 7 points to 15, in a season in which they too have won 3 titles. And Mike Friday and the crew there of the England side, with Phil Greening, the assistant coach, they really have done well. 3 individual tournament titles this season, runners-up in the overall trophy series, but this is the one, I have to say, that I know Fiji wanted most. World champions is one thing, and that's perhaps the ultimate achievement, but the next best thing is to win the overall series trophy, and they have won it for the first time. 6 times it's been to New Zealand, that's every year till now of the IRB 7 series. What a fabulous series it's proved to be. But in this 7th year, New Zealand have finally been displaced by the current world champions from Fiji. And there with Naevo is the trophy that they have so long sought. and never till now have been able to grasp in their mighty hands. And a medal to go with it for all the squad. And the captain on the field today, Samisi Naebo, and Waisali Serevi alongside him. Natman Naebo played such a big part in winning the world title last year, and again this series too. One often looks to the sprinters, the runners in, but his ball-winning abilities, particularly on the starts and restarts and line-outs and things, sensational.
Yes, it's often the unseen stuff, isn't it? And that's what he's been exceptional at. But they look a very tight-knit squad, don't they? They look a real team, and Serevi's going to take great credit for that. They really look to be as one, as the whole squad.
Superbly put, absolutely. A united team. No bad apples in the barrel. And whoever steps out of line, well, he will suffer the consequences, and young William Ryder knew that his failure to turn up when demanded caused him to be taken out of this particular tail end of the season. So the arrangements being made for the official photographs. The beautiful hostesses from Emirates Airline, who have been such generous sponsors of Sevens Rugby, and a big smile. You don't often see a big smile till the end of the day from Waisali Serevi, and they're happy men indeed. It's all gone right for them here in London at the end of the season. Champions here and champions of the IRB Sevens for 2005-2006. Runners-up England, in third place South Africa. So here in London, it was the shield for Italy, the bowl for Portugal, the plate for South Africa, the cup for Fiji, and that is how it all ended, with Fiji top of the table. Overall IRB Sevens champions for the series for the first time ever. New Zealand, brave defence, but they just couldn't cope this time round. It's a changing world, and from all of us here, from John Taylor, John Champion, Jamie Salmon, myself, Nigel Starmerson, just look at the deep-seated happiness of that man at 37, who leads from the front and from behind, Waisali Serevi, at the end of a fabulous IRB Sevens season.
Timo, first of all, congratulations on being the top try scorer in the series. Must be very proud of that.
Thank you for the question, but I'm very happy because this is my first year in IRB Sevens, but I believe I take this, I am a top try scorer in the IRB Sevens in the world. That is, I'm very happy because this is my first year in IRB Sevens.
Must have been very disappointed today because you started incredibly well in the final against Fiji, and at one stage you must have thought you were going to win it.
Yeah, I think so. Fiji is a good team, but my team in the first half will have opportunity to win this game. But in the second half, Fiji will come and take all the opportunity in the second half. That's the end of the team. The team will have Fiji will win.
Sure, you've learned a lot. Next season, stronger, fitter, and you'll go again.
Thank you.
Thank you. Waisali, all came right in the end. A magnificent way to celebrate winning the series. The best possible way is by winning the tournament as well, yes?
Yes, thank you very much. I think not only us enjoy this, the people of Fiji enjoy what happened today. Like usual, I would like to thank the Lord for being the power and strength of this team. A lot of people had worked hard. We've been praying and we've been training really, really hard to come out and win the last tournament for the IRB Sevens 2006. I think it's a blessing to everyone and a blessing to the people of Fiji.
Must be very proud because that took you to 4 tournament wins, more than anybody else, overtook England, so everything came right, really.
Yes, I think the players, especially the players and their families, we really set goals during the Dubai and George Sevens that we want to win the series this time. So everyone was focused. At Christmas time and New Year, everyone came straight back to training, which is good sacrifice, a lot of hard work the boys have done. We went through a lot of difficulties, but in the end, hard work had paid off, and we won the series, especially the last tournament here in London.
You've been taking a bit more of a back seat with your dual role as player coach. Is that old man in Fiji going to allow you to retire gracefully, or is he now going to say, you better go back to Hong Kong one more time?
Yes, since we started the tournament, I tried Lepani and Nambuliwanga at scrum half, so he did play well in the first game, and he did play well on the second game, and then on the third game, and then through the quarters and semi and finals. And I thought if these young boys are playing well, I might as well don't cross their path. Let them play, let them have fun, and I salute them for working hard and winning this tournament for us today.
But what about that old man?
Like I always say, I always set goals for the beginning of the year. The goal was to try and win the RB7 series. We won that, and I don't set goals for next year or next 2 years or next month. I take it week after week, day after day. At the moment, I'll go home and relax and reset what I want to do over during the end of the year.
See you next year, whether it's just as coach or coach and player.
Thank you very much. I would like to say thank you very much to the people back at home for supporting, for the press, even though everyone is not here. But we can feel that your press and support are with us. We've just elected our new government in Fiji. Things are all right in Fiji. The people watching or listening, you have to come to Fiji. That is the way the world should be. Thank you very much. Good luck, and we'll see you later. Bye-bye.